Primitive War's second trailer is finally here, and it showcases a whole abundance of brand new species that we haven't seen before. This movie is set to release on August 21st, and for a low budget movie, it actually looks really good. But considering we are a Jurassic channel here on YouTube, I'm going to be breaking down this trailer to identify the differences or the comparisons between Primitive War and the Jurassic franchise. Now, I haven't consumed the other two media of the novel nor the comics of Primitive War, so trying to do comparisons between those and the movie is going to be relatively difficult. But for those at home who want something to go into the movie with, you can definitely go ahead and check out the comics and the novel, which is what the movie is based off. For me personally, I'm a massive Jurassic fan, and I'm a very knowledgeable Jurassic fan, so I like to make these comparisons between this dinosaur movie and the other dinosaur franchise. This is by no means poking fun at any of them. Of course, they have their own originalities. One of them is a multi-billionaire blockbuster, and the other one is literally a small budget movie, and for the sake of it, it looks really good considering it's a small budget movie. But enough of me yapping. I see that Kobe is now gone, so I probably annoyed him as well. Let's get into the breakdown and comparisons of Primitive War's Trailer 2. The trailer opens up with a montage of war scenes throughout Vietnam in 1968. This is actually something that you'll probably never get to see in the Jurassic franchise, but honestly, something I feel as though is quite needed. I wouldn't actually mind seeing military missions to try and reduce the dinosaur population in their nation. But it goes horribly wrong somehow, just like it always does in Jurassic. Anyways, most of the first half of this trailer doesn't actually have many references to the Jurassic franchise until this one shot in the rain and night with a flash of lightning that reveals a Dromaeosaurid. This is the first exposure of a dinosaur in this trailer. The first reference to the Jurassic franchise is when we see a track left behind by presumably the Utahraptor of the movie. This sets up the long grass segment where we see some of the men on the mission looking around as someone is dragged under. Of course, referencing to when we got to see the Velociraptors do the same thing in the long grass in the Lost World Jurassic Park. It's such a short scene, but very impactful. A couple of Utahs run through the darkness, teasing them once more before we finally get to see them later on. However, this reminds me a lot of the scene from Jurassic World, where only two Velociraptors run through the darkness to chase down the van that Claire, Zach, and Gray were all in. But it's not long before we finally get to see the Utahraptors, as it reveals their eyes glowing in the dark. Now, in the Jurassic Cinematic Universe, there is absolutely no strong correlation here, but this is where you start to go into the external media and the other universes of Jurassic. When we look at the entire franchise, the Troodons are notorious for having these glowing eyes from Jurassic Park the game. So there's a real cool possible inspiration here taken from the Troodons of the Jurassic franchise. We also get to see one of the characters use an LMG and spray towards a Tyrannosaurus by the looks of it in a jungle. Now, I may be stretching here with the comparison, of course we're going to do that quite often throughout this video, but this scene could be a reference to the Indominus Rex getting shot at by an LMG in Jurassic World on the helicopter. Again, as I stated, some of these are indeed going to be stretches to try and make the truth. After all, this is their own movie, so not everything is going to be a reference. It looks like one of the characters here is taken down by either a Utahraptor or a Deinonychus of the movie, as he is seen being dragged to his feet and some kind of feathered tail is angled in the air. This could be a similar kind of kill by the Velociraptors in the long grass segment in the Lost World Jurassic Park. Ever since I was a little kid, seeing the tail of the Velociraptors wiggle in the air has always resonated with me and stayed with me, so of course I just noticed a slight similarity with these two scenes. The Deinonychus gets lit up as plenty of bullets are shot into them, but after this is where we start to get a little bit deeper into the comparisons of the Jurassic franchise. Quite literally, the Apatosaurus of Jurassic appears in this movie. Yep. I'm gonna say it's probably 95% to a 1-for-1 of Jurassic's Apatosaurus. Now, I ain't complaining if they do take some similarities. My only issue is, why Apatosaurus? It's such a dull and grey creature from Jurassic. They could easily have done something better with this guy. But nevertheless, the CGI looks absolutely great on this dinosaur. I mean, even the Tyrannosauruses of this movie look fantastic as well, but this one right here looks so much like the prologue Tyrannosaurus from Jurassic World's short film. You can't tell me these guys aren't siblings. I adore the style that they've gone for this guy, or gal, since there's actually another in the movie without any feathering. And even though this movie's designs and dinosaurs were probably finalized before Jurassic World Rebirth had their first trailer, the patterns and colors of this Tyrannosaurus looks like Rebirth's Tyrannosaurus Rex as well. Quetzalcoatluses take to the sky and cast a shadow like it does in Jurassic World Dominion, but then we see someone dangling from a tree as the Deinonychus is circling around waiting for the guy to fall. This feels like the scene from Jurassic Park 3 where we see the Velociraptors have created a trap waiting for either Amanda, Paul or Billy to fall as well. However, in this scene in Primitive War, you can see there's also a dead Deinonychus on the floor, so it's not really a trap per se, but instead more of a stalking anger motion by this dinosaur as it's just seen its packmate has been killed. Moving on, we get to see the first herding of the movie amongst a group of Coryphosaurus and Edmontosaurus packing up together. This again reminds me of when we got to see the Coryphosaurus and Parasaurolophus in Jurassic Park 3 herd up together. The only difference is the panic in Jurassic Park 3's scene versus the calm serenity of Primitive Wars. The trailer continues with some amazing action sequences and even a Quetzalcoatlus attacking a helicopter, similar to the same creature of doing that in Dominion's movie as well. But then the trailer shows off the Utahraptor breaking through the glass in a very cool up-close shot. I absolutely adore this scene so much, and reminds me of when the Velociraptors tried to attack Amanda Kirby in the research lab of Jurassic Park 3. What I'm starting to realize is that there's a lot of Jurassic Park 3 comparisons in this video, and it doesn't even just stop there. The Tyrannosaurus Rex breaks the tree line in literally the same way the Spinosaurus does in Jurassic Park 3 as well. But also, it's almost identical to when we see the Indominus Rex do the same thing in Jurassic World. And to be honest, if this was intentional, whether that's for Jurassic Park 3 or Jurassic World, then I am glad they chose this scene. It's an odd thing that I see no one talking about, but personally, that scene where we get to see the Spinosaurus break the tree line, it scared me as a kid. It identified the Spinosaurus as a huge threat in Jurassic Park 3 to me, and something about a large predator bursting through a tree line like that really sends chills down my spine. Continuing on, it shows us a rather funny shot of Deinonychus being gunned down as they try to pounce and attack. We also get to see someone come face to face with them holding a knife as well. Is he dead? Well, it's a 3v1 against Deinonychus. But the facial designs of the Deinonychus look to resemble a lot of the Velociraptors from Jurassic. As some of you may know, the anatomy of Jurassic's Velociraptors is actually taken from the anatomy of Deinonychus's, hence the similarities in the facial designs between the Deinonychus in Primitive War and the Velociraptors in Jurassic. The tagline, "This ain't no walk in the park," is used once again in this second trailer, an obvious direct nudge to the audience to say that this isn't as tame as Jurassic Park's franchise. Now, in this next shot, I don't know about you guys, but the way the camera is angled and the sense of scale working with the Quetzalcoatlus, it feels a lot like the scene in Rebirth, when the Quetz arises from the cliffside after eating Leclerc. But this could just be me. I understand there's a little bit of a stretch. There's a badass moment where we get to see the Tyrannosaurus swing someone into the mouth and eat him. You can see the blood actually trickles through the air as it happens as well, but seeing this in motion from a Tyrannosaurus Rex at night? Yeah, it reminds me of how the Buck and Doe ate Eddie Carr in the Lost World Jurassic Park. Not only that, but there's a stroke of lightning in the background as well, kinda like what happened in Jurassic World Dominion at the end of the movie. Now, this one was a little harder to spot, but you can actually see the Tyrannosaurus Rex swimming in the water with the guy that falls into the water as well. The colors and the fact that it is in the water is an indirect reference to Jurassic World Rebirth's river raft sequence. Now the trailer continues with some absolutely amazing scenes that don't really directly reference or indirectly reference anything from Jurassic to the best of my knowledge, but they're just so cool and they simply deserve to be in this video. However, this next one may be in reference to a deleted scene from the original Jurassic Park movie. Here, we see two of the cast members being chased by a Utah inside what looks to be a bunker. Now you may be thinking, what is this in reference of? But if you use your imagination just a little bit, you can start to realize there's a lot of similarity in this shot and the deleted Ray Arnold death sequence that was supposed to be shot for the original Jurassic Park. Now, unfortunately, in 1992, they couldn't film Samuel L. Jackson's iconic death scene for Jurassic Park simply because the hurricane during that time was just too dangerous. But honestly speaking, trying to imagine what it would have looked like, I do think it would have looked like something we see in Primitive War, at least with the same setting. We then get, again, another cool set of montage sequences featuring the animals of Primitive War. Then we're suddenly met with the Jurassic Tyrannosaurus with lips? Interesting choice, but I'm not complaining at all. Then we probably get the worst looking scene of the trailer, where we see a herd of herbivores drinking and running through water here. To me, it looks a little like that one scene in Jurassic Park 3, again, where Alan, Amanda, Eric and Paul all float by the herbivores grazing on the riverside. Spinosaurus is also confirmed for this movie, and from a close-up shot of trailer 1, we can see that it takes the head shape of Jurassic Park 3's Spinosaurus, but it also looks like it's a mix between that and Jurassic World Rebirth's Spinosaurus's body. And then we get the final shot of the trailer. It is awesome, just amazing. But here we see two Rexes together, something we only saw in the Lost World Jurassic Park, but also the one on the right looks almost identical to Jurassic's Tyrannosaurus design as well. But that's pretty much it for my trailer breakdown of Primitive War. Again, as I stated at the start of this video, it was merely to point out the possible references in this trailer. I understand some of them were a little bit of a stretch, but to me it's easy to identify these recognizable patterns, but to me I love pointing out stuff like this. And that's not poking fun at Primitive War whatsoever. I love the idea of them going down this route and creating their own movie with slight references to the original Jurassic franchise. But of course they are their own movies, so don't say they're a rip-off of Jurassic. Let this movie do well if it deserves to do well. If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and leave a like, and head on down to the comments if you noticed anything that I may have missed. But if you have nothing to say, then why not just comment a dinosaur emoji for the sake of engagement. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, but most importantly, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hey, did you enjoy the video? Well, why not leave a like and subscribe for more Jurassic content? I appreciate every single one of you for reaching this point into the video and supporting me this far. If you wish to support me even further, then feel free to head on down to the description where you can find links to donate, my Patreon, and you can also press that join button to become a member here on YouTube and gain access to some awesome emojis. A massive thank you to all of the YouTube members for this month, as well as the amazing fans over on Patreon too. Your extra bit of support really goes a long way. But for now, I wish you a great rest of your day.